Welcome back, family, to another episode of the Clutch Talk podcast slash YouTube slash We Do It All. As always, I'm your host, John. Very happy to be here. We got my boy Trent in the building. How you doing, my dog?
It's a bad Sunday for me, man. But I'm happy that I'm on another episode. Let's keep grinding. If y'all new, make sure you drop that sub, subscribe, notifications on, all that good stuff, because it's just the beginning.
It's just the beginning, man. And you know what, my boy? I was actually looking at our analytics, my boy, and I'm seeing that 96% of people that's watching is not subscribed, man. So I'm gonna need all 96 of y'all to go ahead and smash that subscribe button. I'm gonna need all 96 of y'all to leave nice comment down below and go tell your friend, tell your mama, tell your auntie, tell your cousin about it, man. Because this the best podcast in the game, man. So with all that, if all that's out the way, you ready to get into it, my boy?
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Today is Sunday, December 18th. For all the people out there that's time stamping us, man. So let's go ahead and get into it. We got some fun segments today. We're gonna kick it off with the news segment, news, updates, and injuries around the league. Got to kick it off with some huge news that broke just this morning. Anthony Davis expected to miss 1 month with his right foot injury. Huge concern for the Lakers. But before we even get into it, Trent, talk to me. I know you big Russell Westbrook advocate. So I know you watching all the Lakers games. So talk to me how you think this is going to affect the Lakers season.
Listen, Lakers fans, look at me. Look at me. Eye contact. All right. The season's over. I'm calling it now. This happened last season where we lost our LeBron hasn't got injured yet. But what this tells me is that LeBron's going to get a lot more minutes. LeBron's older. So when he starts getting a lot more minutes and back-to-back, that means an injury is going to happen most likely. And we're just going to be back in the same position last season. And everything's just going to be on, we should have traded Russ away, this and that, da-da-da. But at the end of the day, we knew they were never going to trade Russ. And it just comes up to the point where Genie and Pelinka just don't want to trade for nothing. They had a chance to get Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, and they said, let's not do it. So the season's over. Hopefully we can stay maintained. But I mean, we're 12-16, 12 in the West. It's not looking good for us.
Yeah, it's not looking good, my boy. I mean, we all know, and I mean, the NBA community, we know if AD goes, the Lakers goes. If AD doesn't go, the Lakers aren't going anywhere. I mean, we simply can look at history, right? People always talk about, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. When AD played and was dominant in that 2020 season, what happened? The Lakers were outright the best team in the league and won a championship. Exactly, right? And then the last year when AD wasn't available, because what's the best ability? What's the best kind of ability? Availability. He wasn't available. What happened? The Lakers were dog poop, man. And honestly, I think this is very concerning. And I like the point that you bring up about LeBron, because LeBron, I mean, he's 37, about to be 38 here at the end of in a couple of days here in December. So we cannot be putting A1 minutes on this guy. He cannot be getting number one player on the team, number one option on the team, because then come playoffs, when we need him to do that, it is going to be a shit show, man. So I feel bad for the Lakers. I'll say this, though. Hold on, my boy. I will say this. I will not go as far as you and say that the season is over, because I think they could play some catch up after. They could play some catch up. But I'll tell you this, it's gonna make it a lot harder, and they're going to have to really fight to even get a play in spot at this point.
Listen. That's just being a Lakers fan. You always have hope. Let's be realistic. Let's just be realistic, right? We did win against the Denver Nuggets without AD, right? But that was just a second half, Unless Thomas Bryant turns into elite center and these role players continue to play solid every single game for that month, this team is doomed.
Man, that's crazy, man. The margin of error for the Lakers now is going to be absolutely tiny. So, yeah, I'm right there with you, man. If players like Thomas Bryant and the rest of the Lakers bigs really got to step up and come through here. But let's get to another injury that a player is going to be missing, unfortunately, an entire month as well. And that is Stephen Curry, man. I mean, he got his shoulder injury. Talk to me about, some concerns and, what do you feel about that injury?
I'm not going to say, the thing is, right, I'm not going to say the Golden State season is over, guys, because when you look at their team, at the end of the day, they've been playing together for a long, long time. They won several championships. They have Steve Kerr as a head coach. I think he can rally them up for that month. They have better depth than the Lakers. And at the end of the day, you still got Jordan Poole, you still got Wiggins, you still got Clay, you got Draymond Green and a bunch of young talent over there. So I feel like they can rally some wins up. But I do want to say that their last 3 games, they're 0-3. They're 14 and 16th and 11th in the Western Conference. They're above the Lakers right now. So it's funny that both of our star players are out because we got to make a run to at least the 6th seed, and I do think they're gonna be solid, but they're gonna struggle too.
They're gonna struggle, my boy. They're gonna struggle. Honestly, I'll be real with you. My concern level with that injury is pretty high. I'm not gonna lie, because when you look at their current injuries, they got Wiggins hurt, Clay's hurt, Dre's hurt. I know some of these are day to days, but still, I mean, you taking out Wiggins, Clay, Dre, and Curry out the lineup, that's basically the championship roster. That's basically what got them to the point that they are. And I think now the Warriors season is going to depend on Jordan Poole. If Jordan Poole can be the player that he was last year when Curry went down for that stretch, and I believe he was like the best shooter, the best 3-point percentage in the league. If you can do that, they'll be able to keep up. But if Jordan Poole comes out the way he came out this season and he plays with inconsistency, where he goes for like 25 one game and he goes for 5 the next, oh no, I think the Warriors are gonna. I wouldn't say they're doomed, but they're gonna be playing way too much catch up after Curry's back, because teams are gonna be striding, teams are gonna be going, and now Curry's gonna have to come back and refill the hole of whatever they missed out. And I'll say this: if Curry really misses a whole month, and this is at the absolute best, he misses a month, the Warriors are not the top 6 seed. They're gonna be a play. They're gonna be a play-in team.
I could say this is a good thing and a bad thing for this team, right? They can, they haven't had the greatest season. Let's be honest. After that whole Draymond Green situation, you can just tell the chemistry just hasn't really been there.
Exactly.
But the reason why I said this could be a good thing, because when you don't have your best player, you can rally as a team, and the role players potentially step up. And with the role players stepping up, with Steph Curry coming back, that can help their team drastically heading into that playoff push. So the bad thing is they're nowhere near the top 6 seed and they're screwed, or they stay 500 around there and their role players continue to improve. Because if their role players continue to improve, this team is going to be another problem in the Western Conference, because the West right now is not really a favorite besides the Pelicans. And, they haven't really went to that finals. They don't really have that experience. So,
man, hey, I like that take though, my boy. But hey, we gotta show some respect to the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies been balling out right now. They ain't that number 1 seed. You not a believer, my boy, or what's going on? What's the deal?
Memphis, I love Memphis. I actually just bought a Ja Morant jersey not too long ago, man.
Y'all see this right here. If you're on YouTube, you see it.
I definitely see it. But Memphis, to me, it's like, let's see when they get their players back. Wow. I don't know how I feel about Memphis. I think a lot of teams, like a 7th seed team, could compete with Memphis, and that's concerning to me. Very concerning to me, depending on their seeding. Like whoever at the 7th seed, you can't determine now.
The Clippers is right now sitting in the 7th seed.
So say if the Clippers were 7th seed, Clippers will win that matchup.
Come on, brother. You don't believe that?
No, 100% believe that. Clippers will win that match.
What? You think the Clippers? 100%. The way the inconsistency that the Clippers have been playing, you think that they're going to be able to outshine this young, hungry Grizzlies team?
Most definitely.
Oh, that's crazy.
Bro, listen, the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard, he's starting to play a little bit more, which is a good sign. I understand they're inconsistent, but at the end of the day, they have the 2 players on their team. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are better than Ja Morant. It's as simple as that. I understand Memphis, they play as a team, they play as a unit, so that makes them collectively good. But Paul George and Kawhi Leonard been at the moments. Kawhi Leonard won a championship. Paul George has experience. Like, I'm gonna choose them. And to be honest with you, don't get me wrong, I love the coaching for Memphis, but Ty Lue is a great head coach.
Absolutely, I'll give that Ty Lue. Yeah. Absolutely, I'll give that to Ty Lue. You know what? Well, you're right. Yeah, the more I think about it, it makes some sense. But it will be a battle, though. It will be a battle. Grizzlies is definitely not laying down for that.
It definitely would be a battle, but that's the thing about them. If you're a 2nd seed, usually the first 8, the 1 and 8, and then 2 and 7 is supposed to be kind of like easy
Easy.
matchups for you.
Facts.
Memphis is not an easy matchup. We seen that last year. They struggled against the Timberwolves in 6. Memphis fans, if you have something to say, man, let me know.
Let us know. Let us know, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't hate the player, hate the game. But all right, my boy, let's get into the last little injury updates for us to get into. This is a really big one, honestly. I think a lot of people slept on this, but man, Maxi Kleber out with this hamstring tear. He's out indefinitely for 6 to 8 weeks. I mean, it says 6 to 8. It says indefinitely, but hamstrings are usually 6 to 8 weeks. So talk to me about how this really is going to affect an already hobbled Mavs team.
The reason why this affects it is because, their main plan this offseason was to have Christian Wood come off the bench, right? With Christian Wood being a starter or just getting more minutes, Jason Kidd, his first couple of years for Dallas, we're not talking about when other coaching stats, stuff like that when he's in Milwaukee, but as a Dallas head coach, he had a plan for this season. And he always loves Dwight Powell and Maxi Kleber. Don't tell me why, because I think Dwight Powell is not the great, but the reason why I love Kleber is because he spreads the floor. You need bigs that spread the floor, and he does that. And if y'all watch the playoffs, Kleber hits some big shots for this team. And I'm not saying Christian Wood can't do that, but it pretty much takes your bench unit out in a way, because the Dallas Mavericks bench is not the greatest. They're already not playing the greatest. So now you have to move around the rotations and stuff like that. So I think this is one of those injuries that a lot of people are not going to talk about because he's not big name. But for the Dallas Mavericks supporters and fans, they know this is a big one because nowadays you need a big that can stretch the floor consistently. And we all know the defense focuses on Luka. Luka's going to do a nice pass, back out to Kleber, top of the key, 3, splash. You don't have that no more.
Facts, bro. And that's why I really wanted to talk about this injury. I feel like a lot of people really are sleeping on how this is really going to affect a Mavs team that's honestly already struggling right now. They're sitting at the they're sitting at the 9th seed. And I mean, yeah, you talked about it from the rip, my boy. You talked about his ability to stretch the floor. I mean, players like Luka, players like LeBron, players just that have insane IQ need shooters around them. They absolutely need shooters, especially in today's day and age where shooting is really what gets you over the hump. So I want to talk about some numbers that I've seen here. The Mavs are 1-5 without Maxi Kleber. So that shows to how much they've already struggled, and then how much more they're gonna. And then you talked about it too. You talked about Dwight Powell, right? Dwight Powell is not the answer at all. Like offensively, defensively, he's not the answer. Christian Wood, offensively, the answer. Defensively, we've all known Christian Wood's struggles have been well documented. His inability to play defense has
not
been
that guy.
Not that guy. He's not that guy. He's not that guy. He's not that guy. Exactly, right? So Christian Wood's inability to play defense has been well documented. So who does it come down to? It comes down to Maxi Kleber, and now you lost a shooter, and you're somewhat true defensive liability. Oh, this is terrible. Mark Cuban and the GM and the organization have to figure something out. If they don't, honestly, they might lose Luka, because I don't know if Luka's going to put up with too much losing like this. He's going to become the next Dame if he does.
You could see Luka's frustrated every single game. It's like he's not having fun. He's not having fun right now. And I seen this thing on Twitter. They were like, the Dallas Mavericks are potentially wasting a lot. Like a dude that's going to have a hell of a career at the end of the time is up. But Dirk Nowitzki and now Luka. Like, yes, I understand Dirk won a championship and stuff, but come on, man. Like, those rosters back in the days, they were elite. And now you're about to waste another dude's prime in Luka, because this team right now is just not good enough. I think the fun fact, let me not say fun fact, hot take, Dallas will never make a Western Conference Finals with this roster. Even if they make a move, they're never going to make it. They need another star dominant guard that can help Luka.
Absolutely, my boy. I don't even think that's a hot take. I'm right there with you, bro. There's no way they make it to another Western Conference Finals ever again when there's teams like Memphis, Phoenix, New Orleans. Even if you could take you could take the Clippers, you could take the Warriors, you could take all these teams that are even sitting under them. But yeah, I'm right there with you, my boy. I don't think that the Mavs ever make it again. And we're gonna look back on that Jalen Brunson move and say, wow, you let a man walk, and that honestly caused you. Damn, I mean, it might have cost you Luca. It might have cost you Luca because if Luca loses for too long, he's not going to put up with it. You said it. You said it best. He's not giving players high fives. He's walking off the court. He's getting texts for yelling at his own teammates. So come on, man. It's not looking good over there in Dallas. It is
For
not
sure.
looking good, man. But all right, my brother. So that was just a quick little news, NBA injuries and update segments I wanted to get into. So we got another segment that we gonna kick off here, my brother. So let's go ahead and get to that here. NBA All Star Weekend is coming up. It's in here in February, and the voting has just opened up here on December 20th. So in light of All Star Weekend, I guess in the horizons coming up here. What I wanted to do is I wanted to get this first time All Star segments, right? So I got a really, I think, yeah, 7, 8 players here who have a potential to be first time All Stars. Okay. And I'm gonna read off, some of their numbers. I'm gonna read off why I think they should be an All Star. And then what I want you, and of course, stop me midway. We could talk about it, add anyone else if you want. And I want you to tell me at the end, who do you really think has the best case to become this first time All Star? Is that cool with you, my boy?
Fine with it. But before we start, let me say something. The All-Star weekend, besides the All-Star game, is just horrible.
Yeah. It's gone bad, man. It's gone bad ever since. Really, honestly, ever since the dunk contests have gone to waste after Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine, it's just been bad, man. We just watching it for the All Star game. That's it. Sometimes a celebrity game. Celebrity game be funny sometimes. Not gonna lie to you, but
Yeah.
But all right, man. So that's exactly what we're gonna get into, man. All Star segment for the family at home. Let us know who is the first time All Star that you think should earn that notch this year. So I'm gonna get into the first player, my boy, and that is a Portland Trailblazers' own Anthony Simons. I mean, right now, 23 points per game, five assists, 3 rebounds on 38% from the field and 45% from the field. Around, he's leading a top 6 team because right now they're setting the sixth seed. So he's leading a top 6 team in points and assists. And I mean, Dame's been pretty inconsistent and in and out of that lineup, while Anthony Simons has really held it down and been a solid player. So that's the first player I got on here. If you have any thoughts, you feel free to stop me, my boy. You want to talk about anything?
Simons is a bucket, man. It's funny because I feel like if you watch basketball and just in general, and you watch the Portland Trailblazers throughout the years, you can just tell that Simon just continue to improve his game. Watch it from Dame. Because, I mean, Dame, when he's fully healthy, he's a top tier point guard in this league. So, like, you can just tell he learned from him. Because Simons has some abilities where, like, you see it in Dame. I see there's some games I watched, Simons hit, like, 6 threes back to back to back to back. And I'm just like, is this Steph Curry? So, like, I love him. Not love him literally, but I love him as a basketball player. And are you asking, like, is he going to make it, or you think he has a chance?
Well, I have a list of players. So after I get through the whole list, you let me know who has the best chance. But for each player, you can feel free to add anything if you want. So I got some more players we'll run through, and then at the end, I want you to let me know out of all these guys, who got the best chance. And of course, I can run it back here at the end. But next player that I got here, my boy, that I think should have a very good shot, and I'm pretty sure you do too. You think he has a good shot? Is Tyrese Halliburton. I mean, right now, 19 points per game, 11 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, on a ridiculous 38% from the 3-point line and 47% from the field. And honestly, I had to give him his flowers for the 1 foul that he's averaging per game. Like I'm always on Basketball Reference. I never see that. So definitely shout out to him for being disciplined on defense. But I mean, some other things that we could talk about with him is, I mean, he's leading the league in assists. I can confidently say he's the head honcho of that Pacers team, and that Pacers team was expected to be dog poop this year. They were expected to be terrible, but except they've impressed a lot of people, and they're sitting in the 8th seed. So Tyrese Halliburton, how do you feel about that?
I'm not going to say too much because if y'all watch the last episode, you know how I feel about Tyrese, or the episode before that. But Tyrese is that dude. I think he should make it. Like, I'm just going to answer it right. He's the one that needs to make it. I love this dude. The fact that he's averaging 1 foul per game and all the minutes that he averages, leads the league in assists, he's carrying this terrible, terrible Pacers team, shows a lot.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. That definitely shows a lot, and that's facts, man. So, hey, for the family out there, make sure y'all go check out the past couple episodes, man. We done been talking about Tyrese for a minute, so make sure you check that out. But all right, my boy, let me keep pushing for the next player here. Another Blazer, man. We might mess around and maybe get two Blazers in a All Star game. Probably not though, but I got Jeremy Grant, man. Jeremy Grant could be a first time All Star this year. 22 points per game, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He's been an ultimate pro, man. I mean, Dame's been in and out the lineup. He's stepped up from sometimes being the number 2 option to Anthony Simons to sometimes he's number 1 option. He's a closer. I could say that personally as a Lakers fan. I've seen him close the Lakers a couple of times this year. And again, they're sitting at the 6th seed. Didn't think that a team with Jeremy Grant as a 2 or 3 option and sometimes on a nightly basis 1 option would ever be on a 6th seed. So might be stretching though. I did see the facial expression. I know you didn't like that one, boy, but Jeremy Grant, that's who I got. How you feel about that?
No. All to say no.
That's it. Just no.
No.
All right. Hey, for the family at home, let me know. Am I tripping? Is Trent tripping, man? Is he an all-star or not, man?
Bro, listen. For all the money this dude gets paid for, he better be playing like that, man. Like when Dame is out, they expect Grant to be that guy. Like they need him to be that guy. Like I'm not discrediting what he's done this season, but no, he's in that forward position. It's just not happening.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Well, let me go ahead and keep it pushing, man, and get to the next player here. And I'll be real. Out of all my players, I'm just gonna give it out. This is probably who I am. It would if I could only pick one out of all these players, I'd probably pick this player. And it's got to be Lauri Markkanen, man. I mean, 22 points per game, 8 rebounds, two assists per game. Absurd. 41% from the 3-point line, 52% from the field. The All-Star game is in Utah this year. Last season, the man only had 5 double-doubles. This season, he already has 11. He is a massive reason as to why the Jazz have been able to have any success. I know that as of late, they kind of dropped off. They were sitting at the top of the West. Now they're sitting in the 8th seed. But come on, man. We didn't expect any of this from any Utah Jazz players. Lauri Markkanen has been balling out, doing his thing. I think that with the game being in Utah this year, it would be robbery to not give it to somebody like that.
Listen, for all the teams out there, you finally give a young dude a chance, an opportunity. Look what happens.
Look what happens, man. Lauri Markkanen's a boy, too. I'm not going to lie. I had Lauri Markkanen last year on my fantasy. I was trying to get him this year, but hey, I snacked off the board, so I couldn't get him.
Yo, what's your fantasy record, by the way?
Yeah, oh man, my boy, I'm not gonna lie, I'm down bad right now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm sitting in the last seed. But listen, check this out. That's because I drafted Kawhi Leonard, and you know who else I drafted? Brandon Ingram, and you know who else I drafted? Wendell Carter. That's 3 players right there who just been sitting in injuries. Who I traded Kawhi, as a matter of fact. I traded Kawhi. The man's not playing back to backs, so. That was a mistake, man.
I'm 5-3, man. First year doing fantasy basketball. I have Ja. Listen, look at my guards. I have Ja Morant, Tyrese Halliburton, and De'Aaron Fox.
Oh my god! I'm not gonna lie. You got a nice guard team. How's your record looking?
I'm 5-3.
5-3.
I got Siakam and Scotty Barnes, but I don't like Scotty. And then Bobo, I got Bobo too. I picked him up in free agency.
Yeah, but hey, Bobo, if you mess around and get him on the right night, he might go off for you for real, man. Because Bobo could really do it, man. But yeah, I'm definitely struggling right now in that fantasy. But that is to be determined. I hope I'm gonna get a win this week. So let's keep it pushing here, my boy. And next player here, this one out of everyone has great numbers, but played the least amount of games. That's got to be Desmond Bane, man. 24 points per game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 45% from the 3-point line, 46% from the field. Numbers are great, but it's only played 12 games. Sitting in the number 1 seed. Is that enough for you?
It's not enough, but if he never got injured, he was definitely going to make it. That streak he was on this whole season of just knocking down threes, being honestly probably the best player on the team besides Ja, just shows a lot. It's unfortunate that he'd been out for a month with like a foot injury, I believe, but a toe injury, I believe, somewhere around there. But yeah, it's not enough.
Man, yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I mean, his numbers are great, but he honestly has the highest scoring average out of all these players, except the next one I'm gonna list. But he just hasn't played enough games. I mean, said it at the top of the pod. The best kind of ability is availability, man. So I'm gonna live and die by that. But my next player here, my boy, that it could be a first time All Star this year, and besides Lloyd Marketing, probably has the greatest shot. Got to be SGA. 31 points per game, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, 50% from the field, and 93% from the free throw line. His last couple of games, let me read this off right here: 42 points, 35 points, 27 points, 35 points, 23, 31. If he keeps playing this aggressively, I know he's a 13th seed. I don't see how he doesn't get in.
Listen, this segment's already over. I already have my choice. I already have my choice out of all these players, man. Listen, SGA is elite. Like, put respect on SGA's name. Like, right now, he's playing a top 5 point guard. Top 5 point guards. He is balling, man. Balling. Like, it's crazy because if the OKC didn't have SGA, this rebuild wouldn't be looking as good as we expected, to be honest with you. Because, Giddy's eye, Lou Dort. And then there's just a bunch of like solid man role players. SGA is the reason why OKC is an okay team. But give credit to SGA right now. He needs to be in an All-Star game. If he's not, I would not watch this week All-Star event.
Okay, so when you say that the segment's over, you picked your player. You're saying your player is SGA, or you're going with Tyrese?
No, I gotta go SGA. Okay. You gotta go SGA. Okay. I love Tyrese. But man, SGA,
it's been balling. It's been balling, and
balling.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of just had this thought right now in my head. As I was gonna ask you, like, okay, but what about does the winning? Does the winning affect you? Where Tyrese is winning a lot more. But I was thinking to myself right now. I just basically rebutted my own point that I think All-Star game winning shouldn't matter as much, because I think it's more of the individual performance. When you come into MVP, then it should matter, because as an MVP, you should be helping your team win. But if it's just All-Star game, I don't think that numbers. I don't think winning should matter as much. Well, like an MVP discussion. How you feel about that?
Yeah, no, winning doesn't matter at all for like All-Star games and stuff like that. Now, when we're going for like individual awards, that matters, especially like MVP and stuff like that. But but no, because if that was the case, if winning mattered, the All-Star game would kind of be whack, to be honest with you. Like, obviously you have your top two, because like, say example, right? Say the Clippers, they're losing a lot of games. That means they're missing on Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. Say the Lakers are losing a lot of games, you're gonna be missing on Anthony Davis, LeBron James. Like, if that mattered, that would just be horrible. It wouldn't be good for the event. The NBA is losing views already, so like it just wouldn't be great at all. So put SGA in that All-Star game, and I'll take he's gonna win the MVP.
Ooh.
For the All-Star game. For the All-Star game.
Ooh, that's a hot take for you, man. That's a hot take for you. Fresh off the press, man.
Listen, he's going to put OKC on notice.
SGA going to put OKC on notice. Hey, you know what's crazy, though, my boy? We think back to that Paul George and SGA trade. I mean, that sent SGA. The Clippers could have had a player like SGA. And, man, for the development that he had, it would have been looking good.
Yeah, the Clippers, they wanted to win that. Like, their owner, I love their owner. I love, like, how he's always at their games and stuff like that. But they're like, no, we got to win now. Like, I'm tired of losing. So they made that move. And sometimes you just got to be patient. He didn't want to be patient. But, I mean, you still got Paul George at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm a big believer of you do what it takes to go for the championship window. I mean, I constantly talk to, the homies about that Anthony Davis trade. The Lakers traded away all these players, and now they suck. Well, it's like they got a championship out of that. Do you realize that, right? So, like, I think if you could get one championship, no matter the trade, it's worth it.
I mean, see, this is a good thing to talk about because I'm 50-50 on it. Like, yes, I want to win a championship, but like, you got to think about it. Like, all right, you win a championship. Let's be honest now. You're a Lakers fan. Lakers are never going to win a championship ever again.
Okay, come on, relax with never.
No, they're never gonna win it. Yo, I mean, by the time like they'll probably win it like when I'm 50.
No,
like,
bro, no way.
No, bro.
The Lakers are a marquee franchise, bro. You don't think, the Lakers can land one big free agent and boom, everything changes.
Who are they gonna let? Listen, who are they gonna let? Y'all was talking to my friend about this the other day. When these players are done, when LeBron's done, KD's done and Steph is done, right? Obviously, there's going to be another player coming in town, right? And I honestly think the NBA is banking on Victor to be that next franchise to run the whole NBA with Giannis and Luka and stuff like that, right? But if the Lakers can't win with LeBron now, what do you think they're gonna do? Like,
but
dude,
it's not just LeBron though. And we all know that it's not just LeBron. It's LeBron. It's his terrible roster construction. It's the fact that we have Rob Pelinka still refusing to make deals. It's the fact that we have Jeannie Buss, right? Shout out my big brother. My big brother is a big Lakers fan, and he put me on game with some. He was telling me like a lot of these owners, right, like Steve Ballmer or some of these other owners that got different money coming in, like they are not tripping. I'm not going to say they're not tripping, but their main income is not the Clippers or their main income is not basketball. Like Steve Ballmer used to be the damn owner of Microsoft or something like that. So they have income coming in. Jeannie Buss on the other end, this is all that the Buss family does. The Buss family don't have nothing else. All they got is this Lakers team that brings them in a gang of money. But I'm sure they spend a gang of money as well too, though. So I'm thinking a lot of the times Jeannie Buss probably does moves that's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna hold us up financially because this is all we got. And then you do dumbass moves like how this roster has been constructed. Look, I'll agree. The Lakers are looking bad right now. They're looking real bad. And if you can't win without LeBron, it's who are you gonna win with? But I think once LeBron either goes to follow Bronny or gets the hell out of LA, if we can get another guard in there and Anthony Davis steps up, the Lakers could be right back on top, man. You just got to put role players around them.
Listen. We keep saying they got to put role players around them. We got to add this and that. What have they done the last 2 seasons? We keep expecting Rob and Jeannie to do this and that. And every single season, they continue to disappoint. We're about like 12 and 16 right now. You expect them to make a move already. What have they done? Nothing. I do give them credit with the mid-level exception. They get some good players off the Monk and Lonnie Walker. But besides that, they signed a bunch of minimum vet players. And I also do want to say, when Russ' contract does get off, it may help them out a lot. It's going to help them a lot, free up a lot of cap space. But they committed to LeBron, and LeBron's like, he wants to see something in return, and they just haven't done it yet. It's still early in the season, but the last 2 seasons just have been disgrace. And if LeBron leaves, you think Anthony Davis wants to stay?
See, that's on Lakers. That's on Rob to convince him by bringing players. That's on. I think Rob is the first problem. Let's get Rob out the door. That's the first thing to fix this Laker issue. Because I agree. I'll say this: Lakers don't win another championship if Rob stays as this GM. Not happening. But all right, my boy. Let's get to the last player here for the first time All-Star segment. De'Aaron Fox been balling out, man. This is a real feel-good story to me. I'm not gonna lie to you because I was starting to, in my opinion, come up with like, all right, De'Aaron Fox is just a Devin Booker ass player. But like before Devin Booker started winning, you just score for no reason. You're just good for no. You're not even winning games. So why does it matter? Right? That's what I was starting to think of De'Aaron. But no, this year they changed that around. The Kings are starting to do something. Me and my girl sometimes we be going up there to Sacramento to go to some Kings games. It's like $4, but now the tickets price is starting to go up, man. So
exactly, that's all.
As y'all saw De'Aaron, man, 22 points per game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists on 49% from the field, and he's never been a good shooter, but right now shooting an impressive 34% from the 3-point line.
To be honest with you, I love Fox. Not only the reason I love Fox is he's on my fantasy team, but Fox is a bucket. Like, the Kings, he is their future. And I feel like so many times, like, they just haven't built a well roster constructed around him. And they finally did it, at least for now, right? And they're doing good, man. Like, low-key moves like Kevin Huerter and, like, low-key moves like Malik Monk is making his team look good. And De'Aaron Fox is just being De'Aaron Fox like he always been. But, no one really paid attention to it because, like you said earlier, they were losing so much,
Man.
But at the end of the day, though, right? SGA, out of all those people, is most likely to make it to the All-Star game.
Oh, okay. So my boy is going with SGA. Let's see. And let me just remind the family at home listening, the players were Anthony Simons, Tyrese Halliburton, Jeremy Grant, Lauri Markkanen, Desmond Bane, SGA, or De'Aaron Fox. And
I like that segment, man.
You like that? You like that
Uh,
segment on boy? You like
yeah,
that?
that's a smooth segment. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I like it. Y'all let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know. Honestly, I don't. Let me give my final answer here. Final answer. Final
Mhm.
verdict right here. Let
Let
me
me hear
go
it.
with. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand on my ground. I'm gonna go with what I went with that first. It's got to be Laurie Marketing, man. It's got to be Laurie Marketing. 22 points, 8 rebounds, those 2 assists, a ridiculous 41% from the 3 point line. He's doing his thing. Utah games in All Star games in Utah. I'm gonna give it to Laurie Marketing. I'll give it to Laurie Marketing.
I respect it. I respect it. I respect it for sure.
But for the family at home, let us know. Let us know who's the player. Is it Lori Marketing? Is it SGA? Is it somebody else? Man, let us know. But that was a fire little segment, though, my boy.
I like it. I
What you
like
got
it.
here for us?
Listen, let me say something. This is not really. This is just a little rambling right now. But yo, did you see that Jordan Clarkson and Kaminga? I know it was like a week ago or so when they were like
When he squared up to
tussling
him?
and they
Yeah.
squared up to him. Yo, guys, who do y'all think if that would have happened? Who do y'all think would have won that? Kaminga or Clarkson?
Yeah, I'm taking Kaminga, boy. Kaminga looked like a beast out there. He looked like he just be in the weight room, just one of them hella strong athletic people.
It's funny because Kaminga, you know those people that just be laughing when the other people serious. Those are the people that you have to watch out for. Like you laugh at me and I'm serious. Let me back up real quick.
Man, facts, bro. Yeah, people like that they know in the back of their mind, like, oh yeah, I got that shit on me, man. I'm not really tripping.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Man. Well, all right, my boy. But yeah, so that was a fire little first time All Star segment to get into. And now we're gonna get to the next segment here, my boy. What you got here for us?
All right, so this is the segment that I came up with, and a lot of people love talking about who got the brightest future and who got not the best future. So choose two teams that have the brightest future. You can choose as much as you want, but I said two for making too long, and then choose two teams that don't have the brightest future. Let me just say mine, and then you can go and explain and go in details and stuff like that. All right.
Yep.
So my two teams. Let me go for the teams that don't have the brightest future, and I made some little. This one's going to be interesting. So the ones that don't are OKC, and I'm going to explain, and the Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte Hornets, they're doomed. They just have LaMelo Ball, and to be honest with you guys, if you've seen LaMelo Ball's last two, how he played the last two games to get into the playoffs, John, come on, man.
Bad.
Bad.
Looks lazy. Looks like he's not
Yeah.
learning one of his mistakes.
It's like he's like, I made it to the NBA. I got all this money. I can get all the females in the world. I'm chilling.
Like the Hornets team looks like that, honestly.
Yeah, they're just chilling. And I'm sorry we did an episode with a Hornets fan last episode. I'm sorry, man. But y'all just trash. But the reason why I wanted to put OKC, sorry if I was too loud. OKC is in an interesting position right now, right? We just talked about Shea the last segment, right? But without Shea, how many of these draft picks have they really, really bet on? And like I said earlier, you do have to give these players time. But this could really come up to one of the biggest disappointment in NBA history because they have so many draft picks, so much. And their draft pick in Chet missed the whole season this year through an injury. And for a rookie player to miss the whole season with an injury like that he had, it's concerning because the first season is going to take time to get back. And then now you're really just banking on the second season to see if he improves. Like, I love Giddey. I love Trey Mann, but is Trey Mann an all-star? Like, he's not. Like, Darius Baisley. Like, they had players over there, but they just haven't turned out to be that great yet. So those are my two teams that I don't think have the brightest future. In OKC, they could, but right now, those draft picks are just not playing out good.
Man, all right. So if we starting off with who doesn't have the brightest future, I'm gonna definitely side with you for the Hornets. I mean, as a whole, I mean, it just looks bad. When we did have Sam on the episode, excuse me, when we did have Sam on the episode, you even told him you brought up one great point that I honestly has been stuck with my head. It's like that whole Hornets team just has a childish mindset. That whole Hornets team is literally like, oh, we're NBA players. We got money. We're going to do whatever we want. It's like, bro, you didn't get put here so you can live a life like a child that's not in the NBA. Like, bro, step it up. and be a grown adult and do your job. Do your job. And honestly, yeah, the Hornets has been bad. And you take out Miles Bridges because of his situation. Even if you put Miles Bridges back on, bro, we just saw
Team
that
still
team.
sucks.
That team still sucks. I mean,
Yeah,
like, come
exactly.
on, man, like for real, bro. So yeah, the
They,
Hornets they need like the Lord to come down and coach them or something.
nah, for even if Miles Bridges was there, they probably have like what 4 or 5 more wins.
They would still have early
Yeah,
exit. Early
it's
exit.
terrible,
So
terrible.
yeah, I'm definitely with you for that. And then I'm not gonna go OKC, but I do like your choice for OKC, but I'm gonna go a different direction. I'm gonna go with the Wizards. I'm gonna go with the Wizards because I mean we know their roster simply just isn't enough with what they have. Bradley Beal is just simply content with just getting money. He don't even want to win. He's just like, I just pay me, and I don't care what you do, just pay me. So he not gonna move as long as he getting paid. I think they're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna make the decision to fully, try to go into tank mode or a rebuild mode. I think they're gonna end up, unfortunately, staying in the same position that Portland did, which was just purgatory for damn near all of
Yeah.
Dame and CJ's duo career.
Oh yeah. Let me just say one more thing, right? Yeah, their picks haven't played out well either. Denny Avdia, where has he done? And what's his name? Johnny Davis.
He looks terrible. Doesn't
Terrible,
doesn't even look like an NBA player right now, honestly.
terrible. So like they can't draft, and they paid Bradley Beal all this money.
Yeah,
They're stuck.
they're stuck.
And Kuzma is looking like, I don't know how true it is, but it looks like he wants out. He doesn't want to be there. So they're screwed. They're gonna try to build off Beal and Porzingis. For what? Like, and we all know Porzingis is
We all know this is a rare season for Porzingis. He's having a good one, man. But I'm not buying the Porzingis train. But all right, my boy, let's talk about the two teams with the brighter future. Who do you think that is? You go ahead.
I got the Pelicans and the Magic.
Ooh, I got
So
the Pelicans too.
okay, so we don't really gotta explain that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
that's just
know what they're doing.
but Magic is because Paulo, he's the only one so far that looks like a superstar or a star. You could say star. How did Jabari Smith and Jaden Ivey? You got Wagner. I think that's his name. France.
Yeah.
A
Yep.
lot of people don't talk about him, but I honestly think he may be the best player in their draft class.
Cool. That's a
And then
hot
you
take.
got Cole Anthony. And then if Suggs can turn out to be solid, that's going to be good for them. Don't forget Markel Fultz and don't forget Bobo.
Facts. That team, look, that team, I've always been saying that team hands down has the most draft capital. Like if you want, they have the most, like, I guess, capital to be able to move players if to teams that are like, they're okay, let's just go tank. Let's just buy into the future. If you want to do that, go hit up or Orlando and you go find a deal because they just got players on their team. Yeah, I mean, we didn't even talk about players like RJ Hampton, who I think players like that, like there's no way they have too much good. They have too much talent, too much young talent on that team. They're gonna have to break up, or like there's only one ball. There's only one ball. So that Orlando Magic team, I love your answer for that. Go ahead, talk to me. What was you gonna say?
No, for sure. That's why I chose them. I'm just excited to see like their improvements every single season, and potentially they're gonna be a playing team.
Man, all right. I love that answer, my boy. But I went a different direction. I'm not gonna lie to you, my boy. I went in the direction of this team's already doing good right now, but the Cleveland Cavaliers, man. I mean, you got all this great young talent in Mobley, in Garland, in I mean, Jared Allen's not even old, not even that old himself. You have a player like Donovan Mitchell, who he's not young, but he's been in the league for some time now. He knows the ins and outs of this league. He's not just oblivious to the fact. But I mean, what I'm really harping on here is Evan Mobley. I've been caught on camera. I've been email. I've been tweeted this. I think Evan Mobley is gonna be a league MVP in 5 to 4 years. 5 to 4 years, Evan Mobley will be a league MVP. Do you hear what I'm saying, my boy? Wow. But because when you look at it, he is the prototypical NBA player from what to what the NBA is progressing towards. A big that can shoot, that can pick and roll, that can lob option, that can defend in the perimeter, that isn't just no scrub and a low block. He could do it all. So I know this sounds crazy, but 4 to 5 years, come back on it and check us out, and you go see Evan Mobley as holding up that what is it? The Michael Jordan Trophy now? That's what it's called now.
Yeah, I
Something
know
like that.
they got some new trophies.
That was a
So you really just said a hot take, and guys, family out there, man, I really want you to know. Well, I want you to see your opinion on John's take because I'm kind of speechless. I don't really know what to say about it. Like, I love his potential. I honestly think he fits perfect with that Cavaliers team, especially with Jared Allen over there and stuff like that too. But at MVP, you often don't see it. Like, you had Jokic. I always get confused with Jovic, but you had Nikola Jokic win MVP. But bigs don't really win MVPs nowadays, And
I feel you. Bigs
so
don't win MVPs.
That's why it's a hot take. So John can prove us wrong in the next 4 to 5 seasons, or he can look not the smartest.
Hey, that's what I'm saying, man. So, hey, if I hit on this, I'm coming back and I'm playing it. But if I don't hit, I might delete the episode or something.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
Man, but all right, y'all. So that was a super fun segment. Appreciate you, my boy, for coming up with that great segment here for us. And last segment that we got here is get some games review, man. So let's go ahead and get into that. We're each gonna highlight one game that we really like from this past week. I'm gonna start us off here with the game that happened on Friday, December 16th. And that was the Lakers beating the Nuggets 126-108. Man, I mean, this was a really close game. 11 lead changes. Both teams really played great. Like, coming into this game, I was really excited because I was like, man, AD versus Jokic. This is probably one of the best matchups as bigs that you could see in the league. And in the first quarter, man, I got all that I wanted and more. AD had 10 points. Jokic had 10 points. They were going at it. And then the second quarter, I mean, it was pretty similar. AD flopped. AD flopped. Jokic flopped. They both scored under 4 points. But their second options for both respective teams stepped up. LeBron had 11 points. Austin Reeves had 11 points. Aaron Gordon had a big second quarter. He had 12 points. But then in that second quarter, man, I mean, we kicked off the show talking about Anthony Davis's injury. That's when it happened, man. AD went up and came down like awkwardly on that right foot. Halftime, he tried to come back in the game, but then halftime came around. He never, ended up coming back out, and that really ended up lighting a fire in the Lakers' butt because the Lakers ended up going on a 17-4 run in that third quarter. And I really want to give a lot of respect and a lot of praise to Thomas Bryant because now that AD's out, he's going to get a lot of playing time, so he's probably going to catch a lot of hate. But before he catches that hate, I need to give him some love for his performance that he had last night, man, because in the second quarter, I mean, the Lakers and especially Thomas Bryant just out hustled Jokic, out rebounded Jokic. And this wasn't just Thomas Bryant. This is that Lakers team as a whole. In that second half, Jokic had 13 points, 4 rebounds on 40% from the field to Thomas Bryant's 16 points, 6 rebounds, 77% from the field, man. I think that simply, man, all that happened is once AD went out, I just think that lit something on the Lakers' butt. And that third quarter, they ran off of the game. And in the fourth quarter, they outscored the Nuggets by 12 points and, simply wanted it more and got the dub. So that was a great game to see here. I don't know if you were able to check that one out, my boy, but you have any thoughts from that game?
Yeah, no, I definitely did check out that game. And I'm kind of disappointed in you, man. I'm not going to lie. Like, you gave everybody credit. And you didn't give credit to the person that the reason why he had that much points. Thomas Bryant played great because of one specific person, and you didn't give him a shout out or any credit or anything like that.
The GOAT.
It's Westbrook. Like, what's up with that, John? Like, listen, Westbrook had an on and off game, but I know this: the plus minus, he was plus 20, bro, plus 20, bro. So you got to give him credit for that because Thomas Bryant isn't one of those players or he could score on his own. No, Russell Westbrook set him up for half of those buckets. So it's disappointing that you didn't put him in there. But no,
you're right.
I definitely did check out that game, and it was a smooth game. I'm gonna be honest with you. But
shout out Bron too. 30-point game. It damn near about to be 38. Shout out.
I don't give no shout outs to LeBron because it's just LeBron. You're used to this. It's not like. Shout out to LeBron for putting 30 points up for the 700 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's whatever. But this game may not be too interesting, but I want to cover it because I covered the team on one of my on one of my second channels with Miami Heat, and it wasn't an interesting game. It was just Miami Heat versus the Spurs. But the reason why I want to bring this up to you guys is because Miami Heat coming into the season, people they ran it back. They ran it back. They kept the same roster that they had, which man, I'm super disappointed in Pat Riley for doing that because this team, the construction wise, it's not great. They don't really have much money. They're filled with a bunch of contracts of Lowry and Duncan Robinson, which you can't really get off. But this team somehow is surviving because this whole year they dealt with a bunch of injuries of their main players, Tyler Harrell, Jimmy Butler, Bam, Max Strus. The list continues to go on and on and on. But the last 4 games, they are currently on a 4-game winning streak, and they're finally above 500. They're 16-15. And the reason why is because everybody's healthy now. You got Tyler Harrell healthy, who the last 3 games, you can say, has been playing bonkers. I mean, he has a 40-point game, a 30-point game. You got Jimmy Butler back, which, he's there. If you have no Jimmy Buckets team, it's like no one really cares for Miami Heat. Let's be honest, right? Then you got Bam. That big 3 is fully healthy, and then you just have their role players finally stepping up. And I do want to give a shout out to Victor Oladipo. I feel like we haven't talked about Victor Oladipo on this podcast because Victor, throughout the years it's been like on and off, but he is an important key role player to this Miami Heat team. Just because the fact is the team's not that deep at all, and offensively he's not playing good, but we seen it during that Celtics series and Miami series, I believe last year or 2 seasons ago, one of those, that he played great defensively. So he's playing great defense right now, and he's being a good, solid point guard coming off this bench. So I want to give shout out to this Miami Heat team. I want to give credit to Spo for keeping his team alive because this team was in the woodworks. A lot of people was like, it's time to go in rebuild mode. It's time to trade Jimmy and this and that. But the last 4 games, yes, it's not against good teams, but it's against, they're not good teams at all, let's be honest. But the Heat will lose these games, though. The Heat lose these type of games. Against the Pacers, they will lose that. Against the Thunder, they will lose that. Rockets and Spurs, like those are not great teams, but it's like kind of like the Lakers. The Lakers kind of need a schedule like this just to get their record up there. And it came at a perfect time for the Miami Heat. Now they're getting momentum. Watch out for Miami and the Eastern Conference. I'm telling you now, watch out for them. Pat Riley is a winner, and I honestly think he knows he made a mistake during the offseason. He's going to make a big move before the trade deadline.
Man, hey, I really do hope that Pat Riley makes a big move. Because that was a big L letting PJ walk. That was a massive L. I'm not gonna lie to you.
To be honest with you, John, you know what's crazy about letting PJ walk? I was upset during the offseason, but I'm not upset no more. You know the reason why? PJ Tucker looks washed on the 76ers. And the 76ers fans probably could test. He looks washed. He looks bad. Caleb Martin, I don't know if you watch the Heat too much, but Caleb Martin has improved his game offensively, and it's 10 times better than PJ Tucker. We know PJ Tucker is not known as an offensive player. He's more known as a veteran, a leader, and plays great defense, always on one of the top tier scores in the league. But at this point, I don't want to give PJ Tucker $30+ million just for him to be meh, So I'm excited that I'm not excited, but I'm happy that we didn't sign him to a contract. Unless he wanted that 1-year deal, a cheap little deal, why not bring him in? But he wanted that big contract because he knows this is his last year making big bucks ever again.
You know what? I'll give that to you because he has been playing like booty, and he do look absolutely washed in Philadelphia. But I think that he would have stayed in the same role that he played last season at the Heat, and I think he would have just continued in it. But I will say this: it's better to get younger and put like a player like the Martin twins in there versus than keeping a player like PJ. So I feel you, my brother, and I feel you how you could not be too mad on that. But I want to ask you something, because you do got that that Miami Heat second channel, and for all the family, make sure y'all go check that out, man. It's gonna be in a link in the description down below. I can't talk right now. It's gonna be linked in the description down below. Make sure you check out the Miami Heat channel, man. But basically, what I was going to ask you, my boy, is, okay, look, man, I'm going to come out and be honest here. I've never, even when the Heat were the number 1 seed, I never were like, wow, the Heat are contenders. They've always been fake contenders to me. They've always been fake. this season. They've been struggling to play together, get some continuity, but like how you said, when they do play together, when they got their team there, Tyler Hero has really stepped up. Bam is Bam. Jimmy is Jimmy. We know what the Heat role players do. They embody the Heat role player um, stigma. But what I want to ask you is, with teams like the Celtics, like the Cavs getting better, like the Brooklyn Nets are again rising up. They're sitting at the 4th seed. The Milwaukee Bucks still being the Milwaukee Bucks. Can the Heat finish as a top 6 seed?
Yes. And the reason why I say that, and the reason why I say that is because we haven't, since we got a full, well, I don't want to say full sample, but the last 4 games have shown me a lot of this Miami Heat team. And you got to think about like this, right? The role players in the beginning of the season were their role had to change to be a star/starter because their injuries was just piling up. Now that the role players can be the role players like a Max Strus, when Gabe Vincent comes back, Haywood Highsmith, Najovic, who's a rookie over there, when these players can play their role, Orlando Robinson, and the stars just be stars, this team can compete with anybody. And it's crazy that we haven't even talked about it, but Kyle Lowry, he is not that good anymore, but he's still a player that goes out 110. He's a vet. He goes 110%. Even if you don't like him or not, he always does it. Leadership. He won championships. There's a reason why they brought him in. And I understand he played awful in the postseason, awful, but he's having a solid year this season. So with your big three stepping up and a wild card of Kyle Lowry with your role players, I definitely think they could be a top 6 seed. Currently, I think they're like 7th right now. Unless like injuries happen to this team, they won't. But if no injuries, they're going to be fine, which doesn't even sound realistic. No injuries, because there's just teams that just be like, let's just rest or this or that. But if they can just remain, just a little bit, just healthy, keep Jimmy and Tyler there, this team was going to be a top 6 seed. And against the Celtics, I know it's early. We beat the Celtics. Miami Heat beat the Celtics already. It was a good game. And honestly, it's crazy because we were just talking about this a few episodes. Celtics, they look beatable. They haven't been playing great, but that's another story.
That's a whole nother story for us to get into, man. But no, I'm not gonna lie. I definitely like that take, yeah, because I just keep kind of going back and forth because for me, like I think Boston's clearly finishing on top. Cavs clearly finishing on top. The Bucks clearly finishing on top. Then it gets in the air because look, I think the Raptors have a chance to finish on better than them, but right now they're sitting at the 10th seed. The Knicks can do it, but we know the Knicks are they just love to lose at the end of the day. The 76ers, who knows if they're going to be able to they're going to be able to stay it together. I know they're on this 4-game win streak, but I don't know, man. I mean, it's kind of going back and forth, but at the end of the day, if I'm not going to ride the fence, I'm going to go ahead and say that I think they ultimately do end up finishing as a top 6 seed, but I think like the 6th seed.
John, there's no way you're going to disrespect the Miami Heat like that, man. Did you just compare us to the Knicks in Toronto?
First of all, the Knicks is on a 6-game winning streak, man. You better put some respect on the Knicks' name.
Bro, they could be on a 20-game win streak, bro. No one respects the Knicks. No one cares about this bum Knicks team. All right? Now, the Knicks are going to go on a 20-game win streak, right? And then lose the next 20 and miss the playoffs. That's just who the Knicks are. And then Toronto's in an interesting place right now. You know why I say that? Because I actually made a video on my main channel the other day that they're negative right now, but they're a playoff team. Their roster's a playoff team, right? They are. But it either can go up or it can go down. And if it goes down, there's going to be players that are going to be trading away, like a Gary Trent. Maybe if a good team offers something for OG Anunoby, he might be gone. Fred VanVleet has been playing awful this season. So,
hey, I'll give that to you, my boy. I'll give that to you, but it's crazy.
Don't ever compare the Knicks and the Raptors to the Miami Heat again. All right.
Oh man, but look, hey, but the Hawks got a real shot though too. I know they're struggling, but the Hawks got a real shot too.
Man, listen, bro. You just stop, bro. Stop, bro.
Man, hey, my boy Trent not feeling that, man. He's not feeling it, but All right, y'all, man. I think this is a good place for us to go ahead and wrap it up here, man. We had a fun, exciting episode, man. We know we talked about some news and updates around the league, man. We had our first time All Star segment. We had our two brightest and two of the lowest teams. Had some game recaps. So this is it's a good episode, man. My boy Trent, you got any last words to say before we skedaddle out of here?
Listen, man, go follow Clutch Talk on TikTok. Go follow Top Notch Hot Takes on TikTok. We're gonna be uploading a lot of content, a lot of NBA moments, a lot of stuff like that. We're still growing. We're still in the beginning process, but this is our third episode in, and I've been having it. I'm probably new to the Clutch Talk community, family, and stuff like that, but we're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to expand, continue to have viral episodes out here. So make sure you check the TikTok out a lot because that's where I'm going to be a lot. And I'm pretty sure John wants to continue to grow that over there too. Also, I do want to say, hope y'all enjoyed this episode. There's a lot of hot takes. There's a lot of stuff that I said that was crazy. There's a lot of stuff that John said that was crazy, like Evan Mobley being an MVP in the next 5 years. I'm going to be on that for a while, even when we get off this episode, because I just don't believe it. But, I hope y'all enjoy it once again. I love y'all for real.
Facts, man. Facts. I want to emphasize that we love y'all for real, man. And just like how Trent said, man. I mean, yeah, this is the third episode that we come in like this, man, and just expect much more, man. The potential and the roof is. Ain't no roof, man. we don't blow the roof off this place, man. So
we want all the smoke too. If y'all want to get in debates, like
facts.
I think we'll be pretty cool, John, if we get some supporters on here and we get a live debate. We get a segment going, and then it's me and you versus two other supporters.
Oh, hey, family out there, hey, are y'all ready to do that? Do y'all want to smoke? Because I mean, look, me and Trent ready for the smoke. We know about hoop. We know. So is you ready for the smoke, man? I want to let me know. Let me know in the comment section down below. If you're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, man, as always, make sure you leave us a nice ranking, 5-star rankings, 5 stars only. But yeah, man, like how Trent said, check us out on TikTok, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, man. Where if it's social media, just look up Clutch Talk, man. You gonna see us, man.
No, for sure. And we're about to end the episode, but I do want to say, I know times can be tough for some people. It's holidays. If y'all ever going through some stuff, personally, I know me, like mental or just anything, you can always DM me, man. My DM's always open. Because I know it can get tough for some people nowadays. Life is, life can be tough. So if you ever need help, man, DM's are always open on Instagram and Twitter. And pretty sure the same for John.
Facts, man. Facts. We family, man. We a family. You know what I'm saying? It's a Clutch Talk family community, man. So y'all know what it is, man. DM's always open. Hit us. You want to talk? You want to get on the episode? You want to debate with us? You got a segment idea? Let us know, man. Let us know. But if that's it, then we out of here, y'all. Clutch Talk out.